From the Grand Ballroom of the Four Seasons Hotel in Sydney, Australia, it's the 31st Ethnic Business Awards, brought to you by ABC Tissue Products, the Ethan Group, and the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation. And now, please be upstanding for the National Anthem of Australia.
Everyday worries out of sight, a moment of tranquility and peace. Little island of quiet in these otherwise rocky seas. Would you agree? It's not that easy to be free temporarily. Embrace the insecurity, believe in love, and chase a dream. I hope you had a wonderful day, productive meetings, a few good projects underway. Congratulations on the funding you secured. Memorandum of understanding that lets you rest assured. Would you agree? It's not that easy to succeed temporarily. Embrace the insecurity, believe in love, and chase a dream. Believe in art and chase a dream.
Please welcome your host for this evening, reporter and news presenter, the amazing Janice Peterson.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, the 31st Ethnic Business Awards. Now, this is an event, as you probably are well aware, that celebrates belonging and inclusion by sharing the successes of Australia's diverse business community. But first, let us acknowledge and pay respect to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. Let's pay thanks to their elders past, present and emerging for the privilege of meeting here on their traditional land to share stories of our successes. Let us also pay respect to the knowledge embedded forever within the Aboriginal custodianship of country and extend that respect to Aboriginal people and colleagues that are with us here tonight. Welcome. A big thank you too to Jessica Di Bartolo for that incredibly stirring and beautiful rendition of our national anthem. And also to Hinterland for that inspiring piece, Chase a Dream. A pretty fitting sentiment, wasn't it, for tonight's awards? And that was an original composition by new Australian Jochen Gutsch, who last year became an Australian citizen. So welcome, Jochen. I think you'll agree that really set the spirit for our fourth decade, can you believe that, celebrating these Ethnic Business Awards. Of course, we hear stories of Australian business excellence and advancement in the world community. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for the diversity of culture and talent we have crammed into this room tonight. A big welcome too, especially to the many dignitaries here tonight. The Honourable Scott Morrison MP, Prime Minister of Australia. Welcome. Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beazley AO, QC, Governor of New South Wales. The Honourable Andrew Giles MP. Tonight, Andrew is representing the Leader of the Opposition, Mr Anthony Albanese. His Excellency, Mr Milad Rad, Ambassador of Lebanon, Her Excellency Betty Pavelic Siro, Ambassador of the Republic of Croatia, His Excellency Wahidullah Wasi, Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, Her Excellency Jean Guehe, Ambassador of the Republic of Ivory Coast, His Excellency Major General the Honourable Michael Jeffrey, the Honourable Michael Sukkar MP, Assistant Treasurer and Minister for Housing, the Honourable David Coleman MP, Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs, Senator the Honourable Zed Seselja, Assistant Minister for Finance, Charities and Electoral Matters, The Honourable Concetta Fioravanti-Wells, welcome. The Honourable Tony Burke, MP, welcome. Mr. Chavo Macaron, Consul General of Lebanon. Mr. Manish Gupta, Consul General of India. Dr. Duc Hai Trinh, Consul General of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Mr. Kia Masahiko, Consul General of Japan. And thank you all for the beautiful round of applause after each name. That was very, very polite of you. Thank you for making all of our dignitaries feel so welcome. And isn't it gratifying to see, as we see among the crowd here, so many different faces, different nationalities. I want to wish you all a warm welcome to our distinguished guests. And of course, the people we're all here to see, right, our award finalists for this, the 2019 Ethnic Business Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we celebrate Australian business success through both the Ethnic Business Awards and the Indigenous in Business Award. Business in Australia, by its very nature, exemplifies the building of bridges between people, between markets, between nations in all their forms. The Ethnic Business Awards acknowledges the sacrifices, the hardships experienced by many diverse people right around the country. And we celebrate Australian endurance and the will of the Australian business community to survive, to succeed, and then to give back. Tonight's finalists have been selected from over 360 nominations. And it's a mini United Nations, ladies and gentlemen. Our final 12 hail from Japan, China, Vietnam, Israel, Afghanistan, Lebanon, India, and Australian First Nations Waroa and Wallamajari of the Kimberley area of Western Australia. We also have the Kamilaroi of Northern New South Wales, Wiradjuri from Central New South Wales, Jagera from south-eastern Queensland and north-east New South Wales. An incredibly diverse range of people, and our finalists' fields of enterprise are equally as diverse. They range from businesses in translating and marketing to recycling, mining, development and construction industries, fruit growing and distribution, human resources and education and pharmaceuticals. All of our finalists are outstanding achievers in their field. All are Australian and all have incredibly amazing stories to share. Some have endured the hardships of war, discrimination, inequality. Some have had to overcome financial hardship. But can I tell you, all of them give back to the Australian community in a bid to fight disadvantage, to build opportunities, and also to say thank you. Now, it's this appreciation of just how important and the impact that business can have and the difference that it makes that sustained these Ethnic Business Awards for the past 31 years. Our alumni are from a very diverse pool of talent, of successful entrepreneurs and leaders whose stories have really captured imagination and hearts over all sectors of our community, and that's illustrated by the number of distinguished guests that we have here tonight. The founder of these awards, Joseph Asaf, says in his book, In Someone Else's Shoes, "We are a family of more than 100 different nationalities. To the outside world, we're all Australians, a perfect reflection of the globe. We are a microcosm of the world. We are a vast miniature. We are a model of the global village." And it's with this in mind that tonight's awards contemplate the very nature of the world in which we find ourselves today and how, as Joseph has also said, more than ever we need to demolish misconceptions so that we can build bridges for the sake of prosperity, growth and harmony. And there is no better way to do this than through celebrating business. That is what we're here to do tonight. Now, businesses bridge gaps in the marketplace, they build links between communities, and business also provide the scaffolding that encourages equality, the platforms that support diversity, respect and prosperity. Businesses channel life into the Australian business landscape and then into our community at large and the world beyond. Businesses are ambassadors, and these Australian ambassadors are sending out a message about the power of multiculturalism and announcing to the world that we are a strong, a positive and harmonious nation. So thank you to all of you here tonight for joining us to celebrate the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation's celebration of diversity. Thank you too to our very generous sponsors, our major sponsors, the Anthem Group, an Australian market leader in information and communications, ABC Tissue Products and Arab Bank Australia. A huge thank you too to the Australian Government, Department of Home Affairs, Living Gems Lifestyle Resorts, Construction Consultants, Dell Technologies, Divest Healthcare, International Livestock Exports, Dema Stone, Bruce Clay, Multi Connections and Nexia Australia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're here tonight to celebrate Australian business diversity and achievements, but you'll also realise that these stories will be shared by our broadcast and media partners, SBS, the Australian multicultural and multilingual broadcaster that I am very fond of, and we have been covering these events since 1988. The National Indigenous Television Network and the Aurora Community Channel, Chuyong, the Sunrise Daily newspaper, El Telegraph, 1688 Chinese Media Group, Neos Cosmos, Top Media Group and Media Today Group. Please join me in offering a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. Now, every year, our hardworking judges assess hundreds of nominations in light of the Ethnic Business Awards' unique set of criteria: hardship, contribution to the community and business success. Now, this is a fantastically committed group of 5 individuals, and I think it's about time we meet them, don't you think? From Wiluna, Western Australia, Major General Jeffrey has served Australia all his life. Highly respected and decorated, his positions have included 24th Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia from 2003 to 2008, Governor of Western Australia from 1993 through to 2000. Now, during his military career, he commanded all combat elements of the Army from platoon to division, including Special Air Service Regiment. Major General Jeffrey has been appointed a Companion in the Order of Australia and a Commander of the Royal Victorian Order and Citizen of Western Australia. He's been awarded the Military Cross and South Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry. He's a Companion in the Order of Logobu, PNG, a Knight of St John, a Citizen of Western Australia, a Paul Harris Fellow, an honorary life member of the Returned Services League. He is very passionate about family, youth affairs, education and the environment, and his chairmanships include the Royal Flying Doctor Service, Outcomes Australia, the Global Foundation, the Constitution Education Fund Australia, the Diamond Jubilee Trust Australia, the Australian Trachoma Alliance, Future Directions International and Soils for Life. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the very accomplished Major General, the Honourable Michael Jeffrey. Also on our judging panel, Ms. Eve Crostini. Eve Crostini is an experienced chairman, non-executive director and business consultant. She's qualified in law and has in-depth experience in the governance of complex and very highly regulated businesses, strategy development, risk management and financial management and transformation. She's also served on a variety of unlisted, mutual, global and domestic boards. She is currently a director of Australian Unity Investment, Real Estate Limited, Booking.com and Healthy Real Estate Investment Trust. She is a chairman of Ceres Hong Kong and just finished her term as director of the Zurich Group and has previously been chairman of Mercer Super and a long-serving director of Australian Unity. She also sits on the ASX Disciplinary Tribunal. She's been a fellow of the AICD since its inception. Her pro bono activities include Director of Soils for Life. Eva's consulting career has really been focused on providing strategic advice and transformation implementations to organisations such as KPMG, ING, ASX, HK Securities Institute and Fairfax Interactive. This, incredibly, is her 21st year as a judge for the Ethnic Business Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Eve Crostini. Now, another long-time supporter of the Ethnic Business Awards is Mr. Alan Gyngell AO. Alan Gyngell is the National President of the Australian Institute of International Affairs, a member of the Board of China Matters, an honorary professor in the ANU's College of Asia and the Pacific. He was most recently director of the ANU Crawford Leadership Forum. Alan has written and spoken very widely about Australian foreign and security policy and economic relations with Asia. Beginning his career as an Australian diplomat serving in Asia and also in Washington, his extensive experience includes appointments as Director General of the Office of National Assessments, the inaugural Executive Director of the Lowy Institute and Foreign Policy Advisor in the Office of Prime Minister Paul Keating. In 2009, Alan was made an Officer in the Order of Australia for service to international relations. His most recent book, Fear of Abandonment, Australia and the World Since 1942, was released in 2017 to considerable acclaim. Please join me in thanking Mr. Alan Gyngell. Now, another person who's long been dedicated to making the Ethnic Business Awards a success ever since its inception back in 1988 is the accomplished Ms. Gala Zampatti. And can I tell you, among her lists of achievements is designing this amazing frock that I'm wearing. Can I just... Of course, a lot of Australian women love wearing Gala Zampatti because she knows what we want. She's been in the industry for over 50 years. She absolutely nails it when it comes to style and elegance. And Gala, I can't tell you what I would do without your suits to read the news. They're an absolute staple, and they're a staple for any Australian woman in business. So if you have not got yourself a Gala Zampatti piece, as Molly Meldrum would say, do yourself a favour. Check it out. But thank you, Gala. Can I just say that in 1987, Gala was made a member of the Order of Australia for service to the fashion industry and as a designer and manufacturer. In 2004, the Italian government acknowledged her contribution to merits achieved for the nation and appointed her Commendatore in the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic. In 2009, she was appointed a Companion of the Order of Australia in recognition of her incredible service to fashion, business and multicultural broadcasting, and also as a role model for women. And I can speak to that. She is incredibly supportive of both established women and women emerging in all sorts of fields of business. And I thank you so much, Gala, for that sort of support. Yes, give a round of applause. Gala's a board member of the Australian Multicultural Foundation, the European Australian Business Council, Sydney Dance Company, MCA Foundation and UTS VC's Industry Advisory Board. Also a former board member of Sydney Theatre Company Foundation. In 1999, she received an honorary doctorate of letters for her outstanding service to the university as a member of its Board of Governors. She is also a former chairman of the mighty SBS and a former director of several boards, including Westfield Holdings and McDonald's Australia. A round of applause, please, for the incomparable Ms. Gala Zampatti. Well, one gentleman we are very privileged to have on our team from the Adnaya Mathana and Narunga nations is the incredible Mr. Adam Goods. Adam Goodes is, of course, an accomplished sportsman, but he's also a very successful businessman, a hardworking advocate for the recognition and advancement of Indigenous communities. He is, of course, an AFL sports hero, a marvellous role model for all Australians, and he is, in no uncertain terms, indefatigable. In business, Adam is the CEO and director of IDIC, that's the Indigenous Defence and Infrastructure Consortium. That's a procurement service that links large defence infrastructure projects with Indigenous businesses right across the nation. He's the chairman of No Guard Australia. That is Australia's largest Indigenous industrial and safety supply wholesaler. He also serves on the boards of philanthropic organisations, including Go Foundation, which provides educational scholarships for Indigenous Australians, Career Trackers, that empowers students to gain corporate internships, the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, which helps to raise language, literacy and numeracy standards across the nation, and STAND, which offers support through Australian national disasters. Adam has also served on the boards of the National Indigenous Council. That's an advisory body to the Australian government with reference to improving outcomes for Indigenous Australians. Also Supply Nation, a non-profit organisation devoted to growing the Indigenous business sector through supplier diversity initiatives. In 2014, Adam was named Australia of the Year. That's in recognition of his leadership and advocacy in the fight against racism. We love Adam. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us here tonight, but why don't we give him a round of applause in his absence? Now, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, everyone here at the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation have had the good fortune of meeting people from all walks of life. We've heard stories from new Australians, Indigenous Australians, Prime Ministers and dignitaries from all over the globe. Every moment has been a privilege, and we'd like to share some of these experiences with you now.
The Ethnic Business Awards, coming of age tonight, have long been a feature of our splendid multicultural landscape. They pay tribute to the extraordinary achievement and contribution of people born on shores other than our own.
Post-war migration began as our nation's greatest experiment, and it has become our nation's greatest success. Because as migrants, we accepted that in a new land, we shouldn't only take, but give as well. And yes, it's worked. Immigration has worked.
Diversity creates unity. That unity, born of diversity, creates opportunity. Multiculturalism is Australia's competitive advantage in the global marketplace.
As Australians, we pride ourselves on our ethnic diversity, our innovation, our entrepreneurship, and of course, excellence. And it's these very qualities that are celebrated tonight through the Ethnic Business Awards.
For those of you who are here tonight as finalists in these Ethnic Business Awards, it is a great thing that you are here. You are our automatic bridge to the world, and so much that we do in commerce, in export and import, in trade and investment. You form such natural, wonderful, diverse, fluent, culturally sensitive human bridges to the rest of the world that you are for us an enormous national strength.
It's not possible to think of the economic growth of Australia over the last 30 or 40 years without thinking of the massive contribution that have been made by the group loosely called ethnic Australians to the development of our country.
We're taking the chance to highlight the tremendous achievements and efforts of some Australians who've come to this country, have not started with the natural advantage of knowing it, and have done things that are special, which we can all identify with and which we can all celebrate. And that's really, I think, what the Ethnic Business Awards are about.
I am never prouder of Australia than on a night like tonight, which exemplifies everything that is good about our country. The migrant story lends a heroic dimension to our national life. That's what we celebrate, and that is at the heart of the Australian story.
This country is an immigration success story without parallel, and we should be enormously proud of what we have all achieved. It's also wonderful to see that the Ethnic Business Awards have embraced our first Australians. There is a spirit of entrepreneurship sweeping across so many Indigenous communities, and it's fantastic to know that that's being recognised tonight. My hope is that our wonderful shared story of harmony, of success and prosperity as a diverse but united people will continue well into the future.
Please welcome back to the stage, Janice Peterson.
This year, the Ethnic Business Awards enters its fourth decade. In 31 years, we've received nearly 22,000 nominees. To us, these people are family, whose members hail from more than 100 countries of origin. Everyone here tonight, friends at home, supporters, sponsors, the behind-the-scenes crew, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our founder, a major sponsor, an author, businessman, specialist in the field of multicultural communications, and very proud Australian who came to our shores from Lebanon, a man whose sense of public service has been acknowledged not only by being a member of the Order of Australia, but also by being made an Officer of the Order, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Australian Migration and Settlement Council, our inspiration, Mr. Joseph Asaf Ayo.
Thank you, Janice. And thank you all for joining us here tonight at this wonderful event. It's my great pleasure to welcome all our honoured guests. A very warm welcome to our Prime Minister Scott Morrison and his lovely wife, Jenny. Both are familiar with the awards and good friends of the awards. I also would like to extend a warm welcome to Her Excellency, Margaret Beazley, Governor of New South Wales, who also is familiar with the awards. Welcome to all of our dignitaries, ministers, shadow ministers, ambassadors, consul general, judges, sponsors, media partners, and most importantly, our fantastic finalists. This is the first time our celebrations have been held under the auspices of this not-for-profit foundation. Becoming a foundation secures our future and offers our corporate partners greater opportunities for collaboration. Business, as you know, can play a significant part in bringing about social change through the acceptance of diversity, the promotion of understanding and of individual freedoms, the embracing of multiculturalism, and the many wonderful opportunities it offers. We are here to celebrate all of this tonight. Just a few hundred meters from where we are gathered, there stands a structure made of nearly 53,000 tons of steel and over 6 million rivets. Completed in 1932, the Sydney Harbour Bridge took 10 years to build and stands as an enduring and iconic tribute to Australian endeavour, vision, and ingenuity. For over 30 years now, the EBA has been building a bridge as well. You cannot see it. The only steel in it is the steel of resolve. It is held together not by rivets, but by intangible things like determination, cultural awareness, mutual acceptance, and cooperation. It is our bridge to the world. Migrant business people are wonderfully equipped to maintain and strengthen that bridge. Their existing links to over 100 countries worldwide promote an ease of passage, a traffic facilitated by multiple shared languages, shared cultural roots, established business contacts with those myriad countries of origin, and at this end of the bridge, a real, tangible sense of belonging and a rapidly growing understanding of their chosen home, Australia. The bridge we have built and continue to strengthen allows the hopes of migrant and Indigenous Australian to be made manifest and their dream to become reality. But in building these bridges, we cannot and must not be focused only upon financial success. We must ensure that the bridges we build and cross daily are underpinned by a firm infrastructure, one stronger than steel, one made up of compassion, of a willingness to embrace diversity, and a genuine desire to promote, support, and celebrate the success of all. I salute all our finalists here tonight, all success stories in their own way, and look forward to hearing many more stories from many more entrepreneurs and building more bridges in the future alongside all of you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my very great honor to introduce the Prime Minister of Australia, Mr. Scott Morrison.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Well, xin chào, ni hao, namaste, buonasera, yasu, assalamu alaikum. That's about as far as I can go tonight. G'day. It's wonderful to be here tonight. Can I thank all of you who are here in attendance? Can I also particularly acknowledge the Gadigal people and elders past and present and emerging? Can I also acknowledge any veterans who are in the room tonight and those who are serving in our Australian Defence Forces, and simply say to you on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you so much for your service and what you've done to give us the wonderful country that we have today. And no least amongst those wonderful group of veterans of those who've come from many other nations and served in our Defence Forces, defending the very freedoms which they came to find in our country. And that is an important story, as I'm sure Major General Jeffrey would concur with me. That's a story that also needs to be told within our great defence story as Australians. Can I acknowledge, of course, Her Excellency Margaret Beazley here with us this evening. Can I acknowledge Joseph Nassif and Angela, our dear friends, and it's wonderful for Jenny and I to be back here amongst you this evening. My many ministerial colleagues who are here tonight, in particular David Coleman, the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs, who's doing an outstanding job, and Michael Suka. Andrew Giles is representing Anthony Albanese as the Leader of the Opposition, and Tony Burke and I have been to many of these functions together over a long period of time, and it's good to see you here again supporting these tonight, Tony. And can I also thank all the judging panel who's been introduced to you this evening. Can I particularly thank Carla for making Jenny look so fantastic. She doesn't need help, I don't think, at all, in my view, but I think, Carla, thank you, and particularly at the White House, she would look absolutely stunning, and she was in one of your wonderful creations. This is a really special night. It's a night to acknowledge those who have come to Australia, not to take a contribution, but to make one. And in making a great contribution to our country, they've made us stronger. And their story has become part of the great Australian story. And it's something that we can all celebrate. And that's what these awards are about. And it doesn't matter how long ago people have come to this country. Only our first Australians have always been here. For the rest of us, at some point, we've always come from somewhere else. And when people have come to this country, they haven't always found the easiest of circumstances, but through their effort and their determination and their resilience, through their passion, through their love for their family and for their love for their adopted country, they have found the patriot's love, as Sir Henry Parkes used to talk about, and that has fueled their great success. And sure, there were failures and there were setbacks and there are all of these things, but their determination has become so much part of the great Australian story. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the Snowy Hydro Scheme. And that is a tremendous story all of its own, as those who came from some of the most difficult of circumstances. I met a bloke a few weeks ago, Tommy, who worked on the Snowy Hydro Scheme. He's now well into his 90s. He still does the ski patrol down in the Snowy, and he was one of those original workers. And he came out after coming out of a concentration camp in Europe. He weighed 37 kilos when he came out, and he found a great life in this country, for which he has always been forever grateful. And he was one of the many who came together to build one of the most amazing engineering works that Australia has ever seen. But tonight is also an opportunity to acknowledge our Indigenous Australians. Our Indigenous Australians who really have embraced the opportunities that business presents. And I'm pleased to say that a key part of our government's policy is to support them in their efforts. Almost 1,500 businesses, Indigenous businesses, have won contracts now worth more than $1.8 billion, up from just 30 businesses with contracts worth $6 million when we first came to government. These businesses are transforming the lives of Indigenous Australians. They are giving many young Indigenous women and men their first chance of a job in the country which they love, and I mean on country where they love. A job does so much. It provides the skills, the confidence, the self-respect, the mentors, the friendships, and provides for that independence, security and stability. 1.8 billion in contracts will keep growing because we've laid out procurement targets for the next 8 years, and we've seen in so many countries in the world how this will transform communities and countries through the enterprise and the jobs that are afforded by these opportunities. This is the country where I like to say, if you have a go, you get a go. And those who have come here tonight as finalists, I congratulate you for having a go and ensuring that you've been able to translate that passion into something very real, building your community, supporting your families and creating a stronger Australia. I'm reminded also this year, Jenny and I just this week, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Daltone House. Now, if you live in Sydney, if you haven't had a meal at Daltone House, I'd be surprised. And if you're from the Shire, well, it's impossible. You have every third meal there on occasion, particularly as a local MP. But Daltone House, which is run by the Signorelli family, his father came to this country when he was just 19 years old, Biagio. He arrived in Australia in 1954 from Sicily. And he landed on the wharf down in Pyrmont, and there is a wonderful sculpture of him and his family titled Life from a Suitcase. And what's wonderful about that statue, if you've seen it, is at that very wharf today is one of Daltone House's, the company run by his son Paul, runs right along that wharf. And it's one of the most successful hospitality businesses in this country. The very wharf that Biagio set foot on now is the site of one of the great ethnic businesses in Australia today. So tonight we come together and we celebrate all of these stories. I love hearing these stories because it just fills me with an irrepressive optimism about Australia's future. Our migrant communities, from wherever they've come from, have had to overcome great challenges, and we have great challenges today. But we will never be daunted by them because we have these stories to remind us about what all Australians can achieve, whatever their background, whatever their faith, whatever their first language may have been. The story of this country is one of great optimism, overcoming all challenges. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we're celebrating tonight. Thank you so much for your attention, and congratulations once again, Joseph.
Well, thank you so much, Prime Minister Scott Morrison, for those inspiring and very thoughtful words, and also for joining us here to celebrate Australia's cultural and economic diversity. A huge thank you too to Joseph Nassif, of course, for your spirit of enterprise, your determination to build meaningful, sustainable and lasting bridges for all of us. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to kick off the part of the evening where we learn about the origin stories of the businesses whose success we are here to celebrate. With all our award categories, our judges have weighed up market ingenuity, performance, growth, future outlook and contribution to community when evaluating overall business success. Hardships and obstacles too are also considered when determining the final prize winner. Now, often winning margins are less than 1 point. And given that these are business awards, of course, a key category must be financial success. So the more information our judges have to work with, the better. And we wish all of our finalists the very best tonight. And folks, that brings me to our first category, excellence in Indigenous business. Now, please don't read anything into the order in which our finalists are read out. There is no conspiracy behind that, it's completely random. So the identity of the winners is kept secret. Trust me, I have looked through my notes and it's not in here. It is really that secret. So it's been kept hidden from everyone until the award is presented. So sit back, enjoy the short films of our nominees. They've been made with loving hands by Tom Gericke and his amazing team at Worldwide Pictures. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce our first nominee, Stephen Fordham of Black Rock Industries. That's a mining and construction company based in Muswellbrook in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales. For a company that started with around about $20,000 and a tipper truck, Black Rock Industries in just 3 years has achieved way beyond servicing its business sector. It's made incredible inroads into social change, and there's nobody who can tell this story better than Stephen Fordham, a Kamilaroi man with a never say die attitude.
My name's Stephen Fordham. I'm a Kamilaroi man born in Gunnedah. I'm the owner of Black Rock Industries. We do construction, mining, earthworks, demolition, fencing, tree planting. We also own a company called Supply Solutions Group. We sell about 3.1 million products, 2,700 suppliers. We also, 2 years ago, kicked a company called Solid Rock Industries, which is a training arm of our business. We also kicked off Dreamtime Recruitment. I started the company with $20,000 in an old tipper truck. I took 20 grand out of my account, walked up to my business partner and I said, I've got a dream of something I want to create and he threw a little bit of money in and we kicked Black Rock off. Starting out being an Indigenous person in the community and trying to boost opportunities, we copped a lot of things through racism. I know one of the crib rooms we actually first started out, it actually had a pile of bananas in there that said Happy Settlement Day monkeys. At the end of the day, we're here like everyone else. All we want to do is have an opportunity to actually create and part of the economy, which our people have been doing for thousands of years. If it's not trading food and meat, it's now trading equipment and supplies. At the moment, we do blast hole stemming, so that's in the pit. We also do dozer work, grader work, road construction. We're going out there building fences. We've got 350,000 trees we're planting over the next couple of weeks. We've got mowing contracts, cleaning contracts. Our goal is to be an all-in service. When the client rings up and goes, I have an issue, we're the solutions. We put vending machines on the site and it's not just with your chocolate and your drinks, but we actually fill full of PPE and a lot of different products. Each employee has a tag they actually scan out. But at the end of the day, we can track exactly how many are on site. So we're not going to have low levels, but also too, we know who's using the most PPE and product. So the prison program, we've had 39 guys come through. We actually employ the guys the last couple of months of their sentence. They come out, they get to work, save a bit of money up. Also too, they pay money back to the state. At the end of the day, it teaches people values, skill sets, and gives them an opportunity for progression into their lives. One of the big things people don't actually know is Aboriginal people are a large representation of our prison system. We only represent 3% of the population. That's a joke. We actually employed a guy a couple of years ago, and probably about a month into his employment, this guy was walking down the main street and he had his orange work shirt on, his work boots and his glove clip hanging on the side. And I went over and I had a chat to him. I said, what are you wearing your work uniform on a Sunday? And he stopped and he said, when I walk into a shop, I literally don't get followed around. And old people don't hold their handbags anymore, they smile. He said, I feel like I've actually got a purpose in life. And I actually had a tear come to my eye. And that's when I said to my business partner, well, this is something we could really work with to help create opportunities. In our first year, we hit a goal to try to do $1 million. We met that target. We've expanded in the second year into a multi-million-dollar company. Our goal is $1 billion it's and people always say that's a bit of a far dream, but everything I've done has been a dream. And they say our people came from the dream time, so this dream is going to come true, and it's something we want to show the world, that an Indigenous business can be a sustainable business. So our first day we started with 3 guys. And then what we did, we expanded, we got our 4th, and then our first year we probably were around 30 guys. Our numbers sort of fluctuate depending on trends of market and everything around the area and what opportunities are out there. What a lot of people don't know is when I was actually in school, they found a benign polyp in my brain the size of an egg, and I was told pretty much by 18 I might not be on this world. I didn't really have a great education background. I left school dyslexic. I managed to get a trade. Through that time, I actually taught myself to read. I did TAFE courses and everything, trying to get my education level up. And I think that's one thing, that when people think you need a degree and you need to go to university to actually achieve something in life, when it's not. I think it's like anything. If you've got the determination and you want to actually make a difference and you want to really push yourself to that next level, anyone's capable of anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible story. Nominated 2018 Muswellbrook Citizen of the Year. What an inspiration. He's ditched the high vis. He's wearing a suit. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Fordham. Oh, thank you so much, Stephen. Congratulations. That was just beautiful. Now to another great story. Narelle Anderson, a Gala woman and CEO of EnviroBank Recycling. She describes her company as a group of visionaries, revolutionaries and a couple of greenies. Let's take a look.
My name's Narelle Anderson. The name of my company is EnviroBank Recycling and my country is Jaguara. My company very simply pays people to recycle. We operate in markets where the container deposit legislation exists, and that's where everybody gets back the 10-cent coin for the bottles and cans. And my company runs recycling depots, so we facilitate that payment for the customer. I faced a lot of hardships starting the company, and I'm facing some still today. When I first started in the waste management space, I was known as the secretary that bought the boss's business, and I can tell you that I've never been a secretary. I'm a terrible typist. So there were lots of labels that were put on. You know, being a woman is one thing, being an Aboriginal woman has been another challenge. Well, it's been my journey anyway, that it's been tough to be taken seriously at the boardroom table. You know, I've been around long enough now. It's a different journey, but it's still challenging. And because it's challenging, I really see that for me as a responsibility to make a pathway for other Aboriginal women and other Aboriginal kids. And we do that a bit with the work that we do in the Territory, to make a pathway for them so that they can also enter the workplace. It is our charter to make sure that container deposit services get out to Aboriginal communities, because what container deposit legislation does is take an economic opportunity into that community. And what doesn't exist in this country that needs to exist is we need more manufacturing facilities. If we can find another opportunity for that material in those communities to be repurposed and reused, it does solve a logistics problem, but it does something even better than that. It creates more jobs in community. When we started, we were doing under $1 million, and last financial year we finished at circa 20 million. We were the first company here in Australia to bring reverse vending technology here and put it out into a commercial environment, if you like. And now, of course, reverse vending machines underpin all of the deposit legislations that are popping up around the state and the world for that matter. So definitely ahead of our time. I left home very early in life, got my first job at 14 and 9 months and left home at 16. And I now own a company that's growing every day, and so my advice would be that you can be and do anything that you think you can. You just have to get up every day, put on your pants and go outside and have a go. And every day you'll get a little bit further. I have a son, he's definitely my greatest achievement, but from a business perspective, having a business now that's able to provide so many opportunities for people that work for me is also a great privilege. Our company cleans up the country, and as an Aboriginal woman, that is in our charter, to care for country. That's my contribution.
Ladies and gentlemen, Narelle Anderson's company this year cleaned up New South Wales, Queensland and the Northern Territory to the tune of 1 million containers a day at 10 cents a container. Let me do the maths. That's $36.5 million that's been churned back into urban and remote communities. Well done, Narelle. Our next finalist is Katina Law from Western Australia, an executive with over 25 years international experience in financial and general management roles. Debbie raised from Warawa and Walmajari families. Katina is Finance Director and a founder of IPS Management Consultants. Let's take a look.
My name is Katina Law and my company is IPS Management Consultants. I'm originally from Derby in the West Kimberley, from Warawa and Walmajari families, but I'm also Greek. IPS is a management consulting company. We provide services in the areas of leadership and organisational development, Indigenous advisory and engagement, policy and stakeholder engagement, and business capability development. So we're based in Bunbury, but we deliver services all over Australia. I started the company in 2015 with my business partner Damien Chalk. Starting any business is hard work, and in the beginning it was extremely hard work. At night we wrote tenders, on the weekends we wrote tenders, so there was a real challenge to juggle family time and work. We quickly realised we needed an East Coast partner, and in early 2016, Crystal Kinsella Christie joined our business as a director as well. One of the key challenges we faced early on was working out how to market into federal government, because you're one small Indigenous business with 2 or 3 people and you're trying to sell your services across the entire federal government. So early on we needed to focus on who we were going to target, and then we were able to win some work, develop great relationships with people who then advocated for us within the federal government. We do have a particular focus on Indigenous advisory and engagement. We feel that we bring a different perspective from many other management consulting firms. We have a motto in IPS, and our motto is we say yes and we get things done. We're a very action-focused business. A lot of the work that many management consulting firms do is very theoretical, whereas we do a lot of work hands-on with clients. We are all about making a difference, making people's lives better, having genuine engagement, particularly with our Aboriginal communities, means that policy in the future will be better and the lives of Aboriginal people will be improved. IPS have won the Supply Nation Certified Supplier of the Year award for the last 2 years, so 2019 and 2018. We've grown to 22 staff and we have 33% Indigenous employment. We made over $3 million in the last financial year. We invest in our Indigenous employees and we offer them pathways to ownership. I would like to see us continue to grow and add staff nationally, but also increase our percentage of Indigenous employment. I've never seen being Indigenous or being a woman as being a barrier to anything that I've done. If someone has a passion for a particular area of business, get some experience in the area before you try and start your own business. But there's definitely opportunities out there.
Well, IPS won Supply Nation's Certified Supplier of the Year award for the second year in a row, and the company's growth was highlighted in Malcolm Turnbull's 2018 Closing the Gap speech. Everyone, give it up for Katina Law. It's been a wonderful roll call of achievements, but we ain't over yet. Our final nominee in this category is a Wiradjuri man originally from central western New South Wales, the visionary Mr. Troy Ruggles, Director and CEO of Psg Holdings, a construction and cleaning services delivery business based in Botany, New South Wales.
My name's Troy Ruggles. My company's Psg Holdings, and my family are from Wiradjuri country and the Torres Straits. Psg Holdings is a construction and services business broken into two parts, so it's mainly construction and cleaning. My cousin and I started the business way back in 2011. We just started with the cleaning, and our background was in construction, so they just morphed into a construction division. With an Indigenous business, I think there's certain things that people think being an Indigenous business that you can't do. That's why we strive to always do a better job than anyone. We make sure that those feelings are well and truly out of their mind for the next time we come around. Our company motto is reconciliation through building. So we try and build these friendships and reconcile through our work. The Kimberwali Centre, it's the Aboriginal Centre of Excellence. It was a $15 million reconstruction of the old school there, Wayland High School. Whilst we were doing that, we engaged 17 Indigenous businesses, so half the money went to Indigenous businesses. One of our larger projects is a reconfigurement of the oil and cruiser wharf for the Defence Department down at Garden Island, and currently it's the largest contract awarded to an Indigenous business of $213 million. We had a major fit out down in Canberra there for Prime Minister and Cabinet. The finished product was fantastic, everyone was happy, and it's allowed us to build a team in Canberra and continue on working down there. So overall we've got about 170 staff, and we range from 25 to 40% Indigenous employment in our business, so we're very proud of that too. We were nominated in 2015 for the Indigenous Award with the Ethnic Business Awards, and was overawed with some of the peoples and some of their stories. It was a really, really good night. Yeah, it's grown quite substantially. It's well and truly doubled in size over those 4 years, so it's been good. Probably looking at turning over 70 million this year. I suppose 4 years ago it was probably 30. Always had a dream of putting Psg as the first Indigenous business to be listed on the stock exchange, so got a little way to go, but that's our end goal. I love the people I've got working for me. They do a great job. Everyone's on the same page. I don't have to micromanage. I've got full faith in everyone that's involved in the business, and that's a great feeling, and it makes it a lot easier to be successful when you have the right people. There's a lot of sponsorship that we do with our local community here at La Perouse. We mentor Indigenous businesses, so we have businesses that work out of the office in the early stages of their business until they're right to go. I grew up in Housing Commission, and we didn't have a lot of things, but now we're lucky enough to be able to send our kids to private schools and have a nice house, and that's what I try and tell my kids and the younger Indigenous generation is there's opportunities now that my parents and grandparents and mothers and fathers of my age never had. And now there is, so take it, because you're getting these opportunities because of the hard times that our people went through. So embrace it and make the most of it so it's easier for the next generation behind you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man whose family experienced great injustice in order to stay together, Mr. Troy Ruggles, achieving reconciliation through business. And Troy, so you fitted out the PM's new digs, huh? Done a bit of that, and tell us, Mr. Scott Morrison, how is it? Thumbs up, thumbs down? It's 2 thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. What an achievement. Well, our congratulations to all the nominees in this category. I think they all deserve another round of applause. A huge thanks to the EBA Foundation, which facilitates our finalists joining us here tonight. They enjoy air travel, transfers, top-of-the-line accommodation, ladies and gentlemen, certificates of recognition courtesy of the EBA Foundation. Each category winner receives a crystal trophy and $10,000 cash from Arab Bank Australia. Well, tonight we have the great pleasure of meeting Mr. Jeff Wild, AM, Chairman of Arab Bank Australia. Today, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us here. I guess I hear a lot being in the news about the big four banks, but what makes Arab Bank different to the majors?
Well, it's smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I think, just before I answer that, can I just say one thing?
Go for it.
I think Barbara and I, this is our 27th attendance at the Ethnic Business Awards, and I think Joe and Angela, well, close friends of ours, but my heart goes out to all of you. It's a marvellous experience to be here, and I congratulate you both for what you're doing, and that's why we're so happy to be sponsors. What makes us different, there's no question, it's the fact that we really try and look after our customers. If you ring Arab Bank and you want to do business with us, you get your own manager, your own contact. It's not some person in another place. And I think that the staff that we have, we put in an enormous amount of time. Many of them are here with order books tonight and business cards, so I'd be happy for you to promote that too.
Well, you're doing a very good job yourself,
really?
Jeff.
I'm very shy and retiring.
Listen, I'm from SBS. I've got to throw a hard question at you, Jeff. Yeah. All right? We know that banks have copped a lot of criticism over recent months. We've heard some horrible things coming out of the Royal Commission. Has Arab Bank Australia been affected by that?
Not really. There's been, obviously a slowdown in the whole finance industry, which is now picking up. I suppose the biggest difference to us, or we've seen a migration of customers from the big banks to us.
Okay.
And other smaller banks too.
Right, yeah. Right. So what would you say is Arab Bank's major strength at the moment?
Look, again, it's our people, and we're customer-centric. We spend an enormous amount of time talking about our customers, very little time talking about ourselves, and the people make the difference. And many of them are here, as I said, and I honour them. I have to say, we're open for business.
Beautiful. Well, you say that people make the difference. We thank you for making a difference here tonight to our multicultural business community. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And a huge thank you, of course, to Arab Bank for once again supporting the Ethnic Business Awards as we head into our 32nd year.
Please welcome back to the stage, Janice Peterson.
I think it's time for some more entertainment. Please welcome back to the stage, Jessica Di Bartolo, performing Quando me vo from Puccini's La Bohème. my goodness, that was quite incredible. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's show our affection for Jessica. What a perfect introduction to tonight's Ethnic Business Awards Small Business category for businesses with an average annual turnover of up to $5 million. To qualify, finalists must have been born outside of Australia. And as before, key judging criteria includes obstacles and hardships overcome by the nominee, ingenuity in the marketplace, growth, future potential, contribution to community and the business landscape, and overall business success. Introducing our finalists once again in no particular order, let's meet Japan-born Yoshinori Sakuno, Managing Director of DOQ, a cross-cultural marketing consultancy based in Piedmont, a company that by its very nature is building bridges.
My name is Yoshinori Sakuno. The company name is DOC. DOC is a cross-cultural marketing agency specialized in helping marketing for Japanese company to Australia and APAC, and also vice versa for Australian companies to entering the Japan market. I'm from a town called Ashiya, right near Kobe in Japan. It was quite comfortable until I had an experience of earthquake. When I was 17, we had a huge earthquake hit in Kobe, and in my area, 1 out of 200 people were killed, and I lost my 3 friends in my school, and my high school was completely collapsed as well. But that event made me realize that how it is important to live every day with more purpose and meaning. So that was the biggest learning, I think. The reason why I came to Australia is I married an Australian. We met in Japan, and I was relocated to Chicago through a company that I used to work for. And my wife decided to follow me. And we live in Chicago together, and then she's got a great opportunity here in Australia. Then she told me, it's your turn to come to Australia. And it actually turned to be the best decision in my life. I didn't have any friends, and I didn't have much saving, and I didn't have a job. So to be honest, I had a very struggle. But I had an idea. I was seeing all the Japanese companies doing marketing, but struggling. So I decided to use my marketing background to help them. I started a company from bedroom with $100 initial capital, and the hardest thing was I didn't know anyone in Australia. It was just 2 of us, me and the business partner based in Chicago. That was 10 years ago. This year we have 17 employees. Our financial growth has been quite steady after the third year. Every year we had a 10 to 20% growth. This year I think we are having about 130% growth. We have about 50% of our business is consisted with a tourism resort company, and national tourism board, regional tourism board, and airlines. Most of project that we get from Australia to Japan is education. It's an era of disruptions, and it's a small companies with a big idea wins over big company with a small idea, and that's how I envision this company to be. So we're not going to be a huge company, but we will be A-class global marketers. This office just won a Silver Sydney Design Award. So we have a community space downstairs where anyone who are running business or doing business between Japan and Australia are welcomed, and they can sit and work there for 2 weeks for free. And we talk to each other and we come up with great ideas. So the DOC, the name was originated from DOCK, where ships are in and out, because our company bring new cultures and brand from Japan to Australia, and also bringing from Australia into Japan. So that's what we do. Australia is the best country that I've ever lived, actually. It's a multiculturalness, and there are all kinds of ideas from overseas are gathering in Sydney, and that's what I enjoy the most.
Ladies and gentlemen, DOC's 10-year anniversary celebration theme was Better Together, and I guess that's a sentiment shared by everyone here at the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation. So a round of applause once again for Yoshinori Sakuno. And can I just say a big welcome back to the stage to Joseph Nassif and Emma, kindly helping us hand out the awards. Welcome back. Who was also looking resplendent in, and I'm talking about Emma, not Joseph, by the way, in colours and patty. Ladies and gentlemen, our next story hails from Vietnam via the USA. It combines fruit, would you believe, with information and computer technology education software. Wayne Nguyen Quoc had nothing when he left Vietnam as a refugee back in 1978. Then, in 1999, what started as an investment opportunity in tropical fruit in Darwin led to fruit packing, dehydrating and exporting partnerships. It also resulted in Wayne developing agricultural software applications in traceability technology and food safety. As John Stuart Mill said, all good things which exist are the fruits of originality.
My name is Wayne Quoc. I'm with Darwin Sun Industry. Darwin Sun Industry is mango growers. We manage about 400 hectares, about 35,000 mango tree, and some other exotic fruit. Originally from Vietnam refugee. 6 of my uncles and officers in the American side government. So after the war, they all went to the concentration camps, and grandpa said all grandsons must get out first. Because the next we're going to go to the wars or we're going to prison. I escaped out of Vietnam in 1977 to Malaysia, from Malaysia to the US. And from the US I came here as a visit and I fell in love to the country and I decided to stay in Australia. Investor farming, it's not easy. When you purchase a property, the bank will give you the most 50% lending. So all your capital actually went into your asset. I had very minimal staff. And I worked myself around the clock. I bought like 3 properties within 18 months. And all my cash went, I lost about $250,000 a year. Fertilizer bill, all the bills get stacking up and no income. So I said, let's spend a bit more time, learn more about the business. And then after we spend a bit more time, then everything went very well. Our main client is Woolworth. A typical production is about 2,000 tons. We have 9 locations from Pine Creek to Lake Bennett to Acacia, Berry Springs, and Lama Lagoons. We do quite a bit of export, so we had Hong Kong, we have Singapore, and last year we export to Europe. Customer not happy, we take care of it. Years ago, I can see a lot of problem with the fruit waste every year, so we build a whole business model around it. We have our own technology. We do a brick test, we do harness tests. And I know how much that costs me labor per tree. Everything budgeted per tree and per fruit. Everything we keep track on the system. My son-in-laws are doing all the data designs. And the product now going to market. Few numbers for 6-7 mango farm here using it. The German government in Africa. And also we work with some of the Dutch government, other region as well. Now become very popular to use for farm management. You know, there are more than 100 mango growers in NT. But I don't look at competition, I look at my friend. My competition are people from another country bring their fruit over here, compete with me, that's competition. It's a great opportunity to become Australian, it's a great opportunity to be a business owner here in Australia, and we have friendly people. So I think I'd really appreciate what the government is giving me. And also why I try to give back what I can do for the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Nguyen Quoc of Pine Creek Mango Plantation. And as we get into summer, of course, I'm sure a lot of us are going to be very happy about his work. That is, of course, the home of the prize-winning Kensington Pride mangoes in the Northern Territory. Well done, Wayne. Our next story champions education. Dr. Majeda Awade is the founder and managing director of Global Education Academy in Kogarah, here in New South Wales. Majeda came to Australia as a single mother from Israel. She had a student visa, 3 children, and a PhD proposal to research teaching for understanding. Now, as Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
My name is Majida Awadi and my company is Global Education Academy. Global Education Academy is a very unique learning center. We offer mathematics and English and passion for learning. I was born in a small village near Nazareth in Israel. I was born to a very modest and happy family. In the mid-80s, a wave of conservatism and religious extremists came across and dominated the Middle East. Unfortunately, my family followed. They were brainwashed. To achieve what I wanted to achieve, sadly, I accepted the first offer for marriage. So I was married at the age of 18. And even more sadly, the man I chose was quite aggressive and possessive. I had 3 children in that marriage. So I wanted to leave, but I couldn't because that meant I had to leave my children behind. So I tried to get another way out. I started studying. I did a bachelor degree in mathematics and computer sciences. I did then a master's degree. Then I decided to do a PhD, but I didn't want to do it in the same country because there were no many options for me. When I came here, I had another chance for life. You know, I came with only my children, so I had no family here, I had no friends here. My English was quite limited. It was a financial struggle, but it taught me a lot of independence and resilience, which I used to build my business, actually. I decided to be the change I wanted to see in the world. So I started my global tutoring at that time, which was developed to Global Education Academy after 2 years. So I started with my own daughter and 2 of the neighbors' kids. So we're 3 students, 1 teacher, and a very small place just across the street. Now we have 2 centers. We have 38 staff between teachers and administration. We are up to almost 300 students now. We have a curriculum for mathematics and English that covers all the Australian curriculum from pre-kindy to year 10, which is written based on my research findings, which is cognitive load theory. So it's in line with the architecture of the human brain. Well, I call Australia home. Australia offered me and my children a second life. So we give back to the community. We offer 10 scholarships every year for students from families who are struggling financially or socially. For every student who enrolls with us, we pay tuition fees for 1 girl, where they sponsor girls in Uganda and Sierra Leone to pay their fees to go to schools. My greatest achievement, I would say, to this point, are my 3 children. I gave them a new life in Australia. On a professional level is Global Education Academy, which is going to be something new in Australia.
What an incredible achievement. Such a powerhouse in the field of education and inspiring young minds. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Majeda Awade. Let's go from education and understanding to languages and understanding. The story behind Melbourne's Chin Communications. Please meet Professor Lushan Charles Chin OAM, who realised that increased trade in the Asia-Pacific region would deliver opportunities for professional interpreters and translators. Let's have a look.
My name is Lushan Charles Chin. My company is Chin Communications. Chin Communications is a company providing interpreting and translation services and marketing for mostly Australian clients. I was from southwestern part of China originally, called Yunnan province, and I came to Australia in 1991. My wife is a local Australian girl who got married in China. She lost her job because of marrying a government official, and I lost my job because marrying a foreigner. And she had to leave the country, so I came to Australia with her. It was extremely difficult because China at the time had a very strict rule of not allowing people to take more money out. So I was allowed to take $60. My normal network of friends, relatives is gone. So you start from scratch. So it was extremely difficult at the time. I studied English at university in China. Coming to Australia, the Teachers Board assessed my qualifications and saying that you are a qualified English teacher, not qualified Chinese teacher. So that road was dead. And so I thought, well, I was an interpreter and translator before I came to Australia. I thought I could do the same thing. I studied interpreting translation at Deakin University. While I was studying, I established Qing Communications. Initially, we were doing just interpreting translation for local community. Now we provide over 50 languages services to different people and different companies. We do not only just interpreting or translation, but also marketing and promotion and advice, teaching, and also help clients with their videos, subtitling. We do voiceovers. Also, we do typesetting for clients. So a lot of areas we do, and quite different from other language companies. We started as a company of one person, and now we have 17 people working in the office, and we have over 130 contractors working for us. I've interpreted for some of international figures, including American presidents, Chinese presidents, Australian prime ministers, and also many other business people. On the personal level, I'm sitting on several not-for-profit boards and set up a scholarship program for Monash, helping students to succeed. And I got the OAM in 2016 in the Queen's birthday list for the contribution to Australian international relations. Australia as a country helped me to what I am today. So it's a country that support people to grow. Coming to Australia, I think, was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen from China, the visionary Professor Lushan Charles Chin, OAM Managing Director of Chin Communications, Melbourne, Victoria. Taking translating services and translating them into success. Well done, and please join me in congratulating all of our small business finalists tonight. Every year, a team of dedicated, talented individuals and companies join forces to make the Ethnic Business Awards a success. Now, one company we've been privileged to have with us over the years is Ethan Group, our major sponsor. Please welcome to the stage Tony Jaja, co-founder and executive director of Ethan Group. Thanks so much for joining us, Tony. I just wanted to give everyone a little bit more background. So Ethan Group is Australia's largest privately owned provider of next-generation IT and telecommunications services. You offer systems integration, technology sourcing, business systems architecture, telecommunications and ICT services. Ethan Group is committed to building and managing communication, application and infrastructure solutions and more than 2,000 medium-sized businesses, multinational and government clients, and they all rely on you as a strategic partner. These include banking, education, government, health, insurance, construction, utilities, manufacturing and retail. That is quite a commitment, Tony Jaja.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, how's it going?
Very well, thank you. Very busy.
Now, Tony, Ethan Group, I guess you could call it a true Australian success story. It's considered one of Australia's largest IT and telco service providers. Now, we've spoken a lot tonight about building bridges. How about for you? What sort of bridges are being built in terms of the work that you do?
Good evening, everybody. Honourable guests, Bishop Antoine Charbit-Tarabay, and ladies and gentlemen, and of course the finalists. Ethan builds the bridge between business and technology, with only 10% of Australian businesses that have undergone a digitalisation. You know, being a great IT company, being a great telecommunications company, just isn't good enough anymore. You know, we're forced to understand our customers a lot better, companies in Australia, their business challenges a lot better than we ever have before. As international competition, you know, approaches, and businesses, which are startups, in essence, are making the most of the deficiencies that exist within the processes of businesses throughout Australia. So we help customers on that journey. You know, 23 times more likely are a business, you know, to win a new customer if they've got to focus on data. 19 times, you know, more likely are they to be profitable if they're serious about digitalisation. Now, it might be a little bit biased, but I think Ethan Group is probably one of the best and most successful businesses when it comes to helping organisations, you know, move forward ahead with their digitalisation approach, with the holy grail of excellent customer service. That's what we try and help our customers achieve, and by doing so, they leave the competition afar.
Well, we know.
That answers the question.
Yeah, we know the digital space, of course, is so important at the moment to businesses across all sorts of sectors. But last year, you spoke to us about the importance of innovation. I want to know from you what Ethan Group is doing to help foster and develop more innovation here in Australia. How are you moving forward in that way?
Well, the pace of change, which is something that I spoke about last year, it surely isn't, you know, slowing down. In actual fact, it's accelerating. You know, businesses are challenged to stay competitive, to evolve, and to renovate their existing systems, their operations. We kind of look at innovation quite differently. We look at it from two perspectives. The first perspective is to take a customer or take a business on the journey of, instead of innovating, why not consider renovating first? Let's look at the business's processes, its systems, and let's see what we can do to improve its customers' experience. And by doing so, typically that leads to loyalty and longevity. The other area of innovation that we tend to focus on is to take our customers on a different journey, which is focused about themselves. We believe the best people and the best candidates to innovate within an organisation are themselves, because they love the business more than anyone else does. It's the stakeholders, it's the people within their business, and we empower them by giving back what is a very unique commodity called time. By giving back time, they're able to focus on their business, and the way we do that is by taking away all the necessities, the things that just should work, but sometimes they don't in IT and in telecommunications, and we're very good at doing that.
Thank you so much, Tony. I guess tonight we want to talk about, we want to celebrate the successes, but I want to get real with you. I want to hear some frank admissions. So along the way, I'm not going to go too personal, don't worry, but people will often talk about in business, won't they, about the things they wish they could have done a little bit differently. So you're going to bare your soul here for us, Tony. Let us know what you might have done now that you've got the benefit of hindsight. Is there anything you might have changed or done differently?
Well, my beautiful wife, Gail, and I have a 1.5-year-old at home who... You're
not going to say you wish that was different.
No. Who we mistakenly made the common error of letting him sleep between us over the last 1.5 years. And let's just say he's not open for negotiation on leaving the bedroom, so I'm going to have to leave myself. But that would definitely be something that I'd change if I could.
Well, Well, thank you so much for your honesty, Tony. It's been a pleasure. Top tips from there in the world of business and parenting from Tony Jaja. So thanks again to Tony and, of course, your magnificent group, Ethan Group's ongoing support for the Ethnic Business Awards. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the Ethnic Business Awards Henry and Guy Medium to Large Business category. These nominees have an annual turnover in excess of $5 million. As with other divisions, finalists have been evaluated on the hardship endured, growth, competition, ingenuity and success. So again, in no particular order, starting with from Mulgrave, Victoria, Indian-born husband and wife team, Cam and Reet Pulwani. Cam is a CEO and founder of MedSurg Healthcare and likens identifying a unique business opportunity with finding a needle in a haystack. It is a eureka moment, a time when you can realise that you can make a difference. Well, Cam Pulwani's eureka moment occurred simultaneous to saving the lives of 2 Aussie travellers. But with no further ado, here's a bit of the story of a company that supplies niche, life-saving pharmaceuticals to Australian hospitals and pharmacies.
My name is Cam Fulwani, and the name of our company is MedSurg Healthcare. We are a pharmaceutical company, and we supply niche and highly specialized medications to hospital pharmacies and community pharmacies. Originally, I'm from India. Both me and my wife came in July 2002. We came over with less than $1,000 with no job, no home place to stay, and pretty much no support to cover our cost. We had no family here, so all our family was in India, which they didn't want us to go, but we were looking for a new opportunity, so we came over here. I'm a qualified pharmacist from India, and the Indian degree is not recognized in Australia, so I could not work as a pharmacist straight away. I could work in a pharmacy as a pharmacist assistant, so luckily I was able to get a job. I worked in a hospital pharmacy. I realized that some patients were dying because of not having medication available to them on time. Hospitals were waiting for 3 to 4 weeks, up to 8 weeks to get their medication when they need it. The life is precious, life is beautiful, and I don't think anyone should miss out anything in this life. From there, I could see there's opportunity for me to, fill that gap and have my own company and bring the medication on time to the patient. When we see that there's challenges happening on a particular product where continuously there's shortages, continuously not available for whatever reason, we work on the product, we bring in that product, and we complete that loop so there's no gap. We started the company with $2,000. We had our first employee employed in 2009, from 1 employee to close to 30, 35. We had 1 product and 1 customer, and today we got close to 1,000 products. We are an Australian company and we focus on our market. And the other companies who are in competition with us, they are big pharma, multinational companies. When being a global company, decisions are made globally overseas, not here. Could be too late for providing those medications to the patients. What we do here, we make all decisions right here and we deliver the quality services to our patient as soon as possible. We also do a lot of charity work such as Cancer Council. We support the Royal Children's Hospitals, kids' activities. We do a lot of work with the community too. The greatest achievement for me, I've created a work by saving people's life, and also equally I've got the beautiful wife with 3 kids. So it's a very good country, very supportive to us when we came over here. Our national health system is the best in the world. The regulation supply chain, the quality standards here, I think is the best in the world.
MedSurg Healthcare's motto is "We value life." Well, we value their work. A huge congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Cam and Reet Pulwani. And now from buildings to fit-outs, also from Lebanon, Mr Hashem Mahmoud, Director of Rest Interior Group, a high-quality commercial joinery in Roselands, New South Wales. Hashem left school at the age of 12 to support his 7 siblings. He sacrificed a lot. Training as a cabinet maker, he became the family's major income earner by the time he was 16. Civil unrest, economic instability and a desire to support his family found Hashem emigrating to Australia with just $300 in his pocket, but a very strong work ethic to boot. A man who, if he lost his job, would refuse to go home until he found a new one. This is the story of Hashem, a man who never gives up.
My name is Hashem Mahmoud. My company name is Rest Interior. Rest Interior does commercial joinery for Tier 1, Tier 2 builders. I was born in Lebanon. We had the Lebanese War. We started in 1975. There's a lot of fighting in the area. One morning I was actually carrying the bread for my brothers and sisters, and one lady was probably a couple of meters in front of me. She stepped inside the road and she fell to the ground straight away. Not knowing what happening around me, I actually pulled her back right to safety. She had a sniper shot in the head. She was dead right on the spot, right in front of me. If I was that 2 meters in front, that would have been me. So that was 1976. I was 16 years of age. In 20 September 1978, I came to this country. To leave your family at a young age, very hard. I had my uncle here, a distant relative of my mum. We call him uncle, and he's supported me to actually come to this country and support me in the great things, which is he gave me his daughter. So we married for 41 years. With help of a friend of mine, went factory door knocking for a job. After 2 weeks, we found a job. 3 days after, I was a passenger in the car, had a car accident. I was in hospital for a long time, couldn't see nothing, bandage all over my head, and I lost my mum. That again, make it very hard for me to settle in this country. It wasn't easy. I started subcontracting under H&A, which is myself and my wife's name. So that just shows how much I love my wife. See? Then I started knowing people in the industry, and we secured first job, which is I was a retirement village. We work on long hours. It was a good start for us, but again, it was a bad start for us because after we did all this work, the builder went in liquidations. We lost everything. And then I said to myself, I need to start again. I need to pay my commitments for other people, and I still want to succeed, and I did. I actually prepared another contract, but I had to go to Lebanon because my father was sick. He had a stroke. Came back here, the whole business shut again. We lost the contract, have to start again. But the hardest part, 2 weeks after I left my father, he passed away. Then an opportunity comes for me, which is working on the Opera House concert doors. And we won that job. And we started working on the job for 18 months. Then we moved into a much bigger factory. We started with 350 square meter, now we're 7,000 square meter. We do a lot of hospitals, we do universities, schools, and we do office fit-outs, we do high-end residentials, and we're doing quite a lot of work. We start at very small turnover to today's a group value of around 50 million. The biggest ground for the company for myself is the succession plan, which is I have in place for my 2 sons to take over the business. I lead a very busy life, supporting charities in the area. That's I have to give back, and that's what I do. My family here is my great inspirations. This country will give my family and my grandchildren a tremendous opportunity. Australia is a great country.
What a magnificent roll call of achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in celebrating Hashem Mahmoud. Now, let's meet someone from Bayswater North, Victoria. Afghanistan-born Basir Abbas from Accent Aluminium Windows and Doors. Basir's story is one of dedication and commitment to life, family, friends and community, to hard work and business. To join a company as a truck driver and then wind up buying that company is the stuff of legend. Let's find out how he did it. Basir, over to you.
My name is Basir Abbas. Our company name is Accent Aluminium Windows and Doors. We manufacture windows and doors. We are here to make people's houses valuable. Our focus in the company is our customers. Our customer to us, like the sunshine we need for the world. I came originally from Afghanistan. We loved our country. Afghanistan was beautiful at the time. In 1979, Afghanistan has been occupied by Russia. Then the Mujahideen came and start fighting and so on. I saw personally myself blood on the street. So I was lucky that I wasn't shot on that day. So we had to leave Afghanistan overnight with family, cross the border to go to Iran. We left our family, friends that I haven't seen some of them since. My fiancée, which is my lovely wife now, her uncle was here in Melbourne. So they sponsored their family. And this was another setback for me. I was sad. Now I'm losing her, my other part. And I had to wait 1 year, 3 months, 24 days and 6 hours. See how hard was that? I counted every minute of that time because I loved her so much and I still love her as much. When I came to Australia, I had $100. So I looked for work. And then suddenly I came to Accent and I started as a truck driver. I had 2 bosses. And one day they came to me and they said, oh, I think you've got a bit of brain. Let's put you in the supervision of this floor. After 1 month, they promoted me to become a manager because the manager left at the time. From there, I never looked backward. In 2007, the company got to some difficulties. The boss said to me, you have to come now, be part of the company, buy the 50%. I said, yes, but in one condition. And he said, what condition? I said, I drive the business, you sit at the back and watch how I drive it. I was coming 6 o'clock in the morning and working to 7, 8 o'clock at night. Every day for months. 2 years, we didn't take any wages. My business partner, he said, look, I'm 60 years old and you're going too fast. But he said, I sell my share to you as long as you keep me employed here as a sales rep. I said, in 1987, when I came as a refugee, you gave me a job. You work here until you wish to. And he's now in his 70 and he's still going like a 25 years old. When I was working first time, we had 4 people. Now we got 70 people working for Accent Windows, and I'm proud of that. Our products is so sophisticated that series of lifestyle TV shows, they start buying from us the Channel 9, Channel 7, Lifestyle, Selling Houses Australia, Deadline Design. I asked this question, why you choose Accent? They said, we love the way your attitude and the fast action that you do. We are agile, we just go fast. We are fortunate to make money into this country, and we decided to give back to the local community through the sport. We do soccer club, we do football club, we do 3-4 football club locally. Australia is the luckiest country in the world. They say the lucky, but also the luckiest country. I want to be, as a migrant, an inspiration for others. If I come with $100 in this country, if I make it, I'm sure everyone can make it. Why not? Come on, challenge yourself and do it.
Basir Abbas, Director of Accent Windows, the 100% Australian-owned and operated leader in the aluminium door and window industry. Well done, Basir, and also for setting the bar a little bit too high for all of the husbands in the room. I think you'll agree with me. Well done, Basir. And now to our last nominee in the medium to large business category. Mr. Sarkis Nassif, a man who went from earning just $60 a day to founding a multi-million-dollar enterprise. Sarkis is Managing Director of Hallmark Property Group. That's a privately owned property development and investment corporation that values making a difference. It proudly supports medical charities, sporting organisations and community groups, including Women's Shelter and Bailout. Let's take a look.
My name is Sarkis Nassif. My company is Hallmark Property Group. Hallmark is a property development company. We do retail, commercial, industrial and residential. I originally came from Lebanon. On the late 70s, early 80s, Lebanon had conflict, and I had an opportunity to go to the United States or France or Australia, and my heart set on Australia because my auntie came on the 50s to Australia. 22 years old, probably the third day I start work in the formwork business with $60 a day. I didn't speak a word of English, and I used to go to study English at night. Our Australian culture welcoming migrant, and they treat them like family. I feel like that's my home. I apply for my license as a formwork concrete steel fixing, and I start a little business. I had the opportunity to buy a few duplex. I developed it, and from 2 duplex to 5 to 10 to 20, and we end up where we are. We've been in the business for over 32 years. We are big as our reputation. At the moment, we've got over 3,000 employees on our job site and over $4 billion project on the pipeline. The Bay Development, Shepherd Bay Development, was an urban renewal project. It was absolutely deteriorated industrial area. And I can see it's valuable land on Parramatta River. It's very close to the infrastructure, train, ferry, and you can see it. It's strategically, you can see it. We built it in stages, about 3,500 apartments, as a one full master plan on the area to make sure we capture all the services, all the road widening, all the footpaths, we create community open space. We look at it as the urban renewal project. When your heart starts pumping, the right person, and I'm lucky to have Birida in my life. I'm very blessed. 3 of my children are with me in the business. They add in a lot to the company, and I'm sure they will take it over and move forward. Yeah, look, I lost a son, his name is John Paul. He was 3.5 years old and went through a tough time. And John Paul Foundation done a special ward at Westmead Hospital under his name, and we've been focusing for many years now on young children having hardship in their life. We are so pleased and blessed we're climbing up year after year. The most important message to our young Australian, especially the new immigrant, to be landed in Australia. You are lucky. We got the best financial system in the world. We got the best law system in the world. We are the luckiest people on earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible achievement of Mr. Sarkis Nassif, from tragedy to triumph, really. He's experienced a lot in his lifetime. Please, once again, show him your congratulations. Well, while we're at it, let's celebrate all of our nominees in the Henry and Guy medium to large business category. Congratulations, everyone.
Please welcome back to the stage, Janice Peterson.
And a big thank you for joining us here tonight. Of course, we're here to celebrate the bridges that have been built and that continue to be built by Australian businesses. You know, the Ethnic Business Awards becoming a foundation means that we're going to be around for quite a while to come, celebrating ethnic and Indigenous businesses and our nation's ongoing economic growth. And that means more opportunities for businesses to support this work. To provide some insight, please welcome to the stage Senator the Honourable Zed Seselja, Assistant Minister for Finance, Charities and Electoral Matters.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister. Great to see you and Jenny Morrison. Great to see a number of parliamentary colleagues representing the Leader of the Opposition, my colleagues from the Coalition, Michael Sukkar, David Coleman, Connie Fierravanti-Wells, also, of course, the Governor of New South Wales, many distinguished guests, but particularly to Joseph Nassif and to Angela for the extraordinary work that you have done over so many years in establishing this amazing organisation. It's my particular honour tonight to mark the beginnings of the foundation that will support the work that you have started and that has been carried out over the last 30 years, and we'll see that last for a long, long time to come. You know, in my role, having a responsibility for charities, I get to meet some of the most amazing Australians who put so much of themselves into serving their fellow man and woman. And we've seen some of those great Australians being honoured tonight. Can I say that Joseph Nassif is a great Australian who has done... Yes, let's give him a round of applause. He's, of course, epitomised the Australian dream, coming to this country and building a business, but then going well beyond that in his service to our community and to our nation. And so the establishment of this foundation, what it will do is it will take that work and put in place a framework that will ensure that long after Joseph is not able to do the work that he has done, and may that not happen for many, many years, that this foundation will continue to thrive and that legacy will continue for many, many years to come. I'd encourage people to be supporting this great work. It is great to honour these stories that we are hearing tonight of people who come to this land, or indeed people who draw their inheritance for thousands of years in this land, who create a business, who create a story, who employ Australians and who do extraordinary things. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you for being here. I look forward to celebrating the amazing achievements of so many great business people tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator, for the support you've extended to the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation by your presence tonight, and also for helping to bridge that divide and to help build bridges to the world. Thank you so much. It is that time in the night, that moment that we've all been waiting for. Now, I'm pretty sure that everyone here has a bit of an idea about who they think they'd like to see win these awards. You might have had a debate with the person sitting next to you, or maybe someone sitting across from you on the table. And so I reckon you've got a bit of an insight into just how challenging this process might be for our judges. Well, to Joseph and myself, everyone is, of course, a winner, but we know that this is a business awards, and it's the financial information that our nominees provide that really determines the ultimate outcome. And so, without further ado, let's turn our attention to the winners of the 31st Ethnic Business Awards. To present the award for Indigenous in Business and to say a few words, please welcome the Honourable Tony Burke MP, Shadow Minister for Industrial Relations, Shadow Minister for the Arts and Manager of Opposition Business in the House of Representatives. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks, Janice.
Cheers.
Thanks so much, Janice, and thanks for the extraordinary job you've been doing tonight as emceeing for the event tonight. Thank you very much. Well, what an honour, here on Gadigal land of the Eora Nation, to pay tribute to some of the great Indigenous business leaders of Australia. Your Excellencies, Prime Minister and Jenny Morrison, Andrew Giles representing Leader of the Opposition Anthony Albanese, Parliamentary Ministerial colleagues, Saidna, members of the Diplomatic Corps, leaders, all business people, and just a crowd of people who are excited over the stories we have been told. I do have to send apologies from Anthony Albanese. He, as the Prime Minister mentioned, there's a few of us who, regardless of what portfolios we hold, try to be here every year. And it's the case that we have a shadow cabinet meeting that is being held in Perth. And Anthony and I spoke to each other and realised this was a serious problem. And therefore I was banned from attending the shadow cabinet meeting because I had to be here tonight. And Anthony did ask me to convey his apologies to you. That's right, they'd better not be discussing my portfolio. Joseph and Angela, this night, when it comes on a list of dignitaries, realistically, you stand head and shoulders above everybody. But Joseph has always told the story of people arriving in Australia with a suitcase full of dreams and the businesses and the ideas being something that they unpack from that suitcase. In the Indigenous Business Awards, we deal with people, individuals, not who arrived with a suitcase full of dreams, but people who have built their lives on a dreaming that has been here since the first sunrise. The stories that we heard and that we all saw on that screen were inspirational on every level. For anyone running a business, there are times where it is hard, there are times involving real risk, there are times when you look at the accounts and you're not sure how it's going to go, and times of real perseverance long after the initial idea. But I will never know what the business people here know, which is what it's like to have the extra layer of prejudice in so many ways, being that extra challenge that comes along. And we heard about that in some of the stories that appeared on the screen tonight. But for those people who have been nominated, all of whom in their own way are extraordinary winners, the victory is not only for themselves in their business, it's also for the community organisations they help, for the inspiration they provide to members of their community, showing what can be done, and to the lives they change with every single person they employ, and say not only you have a job, but you have a job in this business with this vision. So to all of the nominees, and indeed those who are nominated and haven't made it through to tonight, for what you do, we are a better nation as a result, and congratulations to all of them. The winner for 2019 Ethnic Business Awards, Indigenous in Business category. Envirobank Recycling, Narelle Anderson.
Goodness, just need to take a minute. So surprised and so excited. I wanted to take a minute to talk about tonight's awards that are honouring the achievement of both migrant and Indigenous Australians, both with a suitcase full of dreams, even though we didn't arrive with a suitcase full of dreams. Tonight's a special one. This place that we've all come to call home, Australia, is made richer by the tapestry of Indigenous Australians and migrant workers together. Tonight is about celebrating our collective, our resilience, our tenacity, our will to win, and our desire to make a contribution. And of all of the presentations that I saw this evening, the one common thread was the desire to make a contribution. I'm honoured to be acknowledged in such fine company with the other Indigenous businesses. Thank you, Joseph Nassif, for lending your voice and pioneering tonight's awards. I'm humbled by the recognition and gratefully accept the responsibility that comes along with tonight's accolades. We will continue at Envirobank to build a great Australian company that turns waste into a currency and in the process changes lives. A special thanks to the sponsors tonight. I know that tonight isn't possible without the sponsors. And a special thank you for the prize of $10,000. And tonight, I want to say that we're going to put that currency to work with the Literacy for Life organisation, founded by Jack Beatson, who has joined us tonight. And that money will go a long way to helping Literacy for Life get one more community off the ground and improve Aboriginal literacy. Lastly, we never get to where we're going on our own. So I want to thank our corporate customers and partners who have supported our business along the way. Just like the Arab Bank did a call out, I also want to call out our book's not full either. So if anybody needs some help with recycling, give us a call at Envirobank. We'd be happy to help you turn that trash into cash. I want to also thank my team, some of who are here tonight. We're building a great company, and I wouldn't be able to do that without the support of each and every one of them. Thank you to my extended family and my immediate family. And last but not least, thank you to my husband, who is one of a kind. Thanks for holding the fort when I'm away. I travel quite a bit. And thanks for holding me when I get home. And a special shout out, I know this is being streamed on Facebook, which is something that I know my 9-year-old son knows all about. So a special shout out to my son William, who's my favourite person in the whole wide world, and it is time to go to bed.
What a deserving winner. Congratulations, Narelle, on your business success, and thanks so much for sharing your journey with us here tonight. What an incredible speech that was, heartfelt. I saw lots of people grabbing their hearts and their chests. Just such beautiful words from Narelle, and I think we probably need some extra reinforcements from one of our sponsors, ABC Tissues, at this point. I nearly had to wipe away a little tear myself. That was so, so gorgeous. I'd like to now extend a thank you to all of the Indigenous in Business finalists, indeed all of the finalists here tonight. It's been an absolute privilege to hear your stories and get to know your stories a little better. We look forward to hearing more about your success in the years to come. And welcome, Narelle, to the Ethnic Business Awards Alumni Network. So there's another win to notch up. Well done. Now to present the award in the small business category, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to the stage the Honourable Michael Sukkar MP, Minister for Housing and Assistant Treasurer.
Well, Janice, thank you so much for the introduction, and to the Prime Minister and Jenny Morrison, to my parliamentary colleagues, particularly Zed Seselja and Connie Fierravanti-Wells, Tony Burke, Andrew Giles, Your Excellencies, Sayedna, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, last but not least, Joseph and Angela Nassif. It's a great honour for me tonight to present this award in the small business category. This has become an institution of Australia. It's in its 31st year as the Ethnic Business Awards. It brings a tear to the eye every year, and particularly in the small business category, you can't have anything but admiration for those people who have come to this country in the pursuit of improving their own lives, in the pursuit of providing their children and their families with opportunities that they never had, also create so much prosperity for our country. And it also is a category that's close to my heart when I think back to my own family story. My father arrived here as an 18-year-old from Lebanon in 1966, and I grew up in a small business family. I was one of those family members conscripted into the family business. I hope the Fair Work Commission isn't here, but I wasn't paid penalty rates, I can assure you, when I was sweeping the cafe or cleaning the coffee machine or whatever it is that I was doing. But what I learned in being in a family business is what literally millions of Australians have learned, particularly first-generation Australians, in appreciating what their parents and grandparents and family members have had to do to create opportunities for them. And that's why the small business category is something that's very dear to my heart, and why I'm so honoured tonight to be able to announce who our award winner is. Can I also congratulate all the finalists? Each year I don't know how the judging panel determines who wins and who doesn't, because they are all extraordinary stories. But again, I look forward to celebrating with the eventual winner tonight, and I might grab the envelope. Thank you, Joseph. So it's my great honour to announce the winner of the 2019 Ethnic Business Awards Small Business category is Pine Creek Mango Plantation, Wayne Quat. Congratulations.
Wayne makes his way to the stage. A huge congratulations to Wayne and Pine Creek Mango Plantation. Congratulations, Wayne. We all love mangoes. As I said, it's getting into mango season.
We're still in the mango season.
Yeah, congratulations. How much does this award mean to you? Come, bring it in, bring it in.
Last night I woke up at like 4 in the morning. I was thinking about these awards, and I said, oh my God, what's going to happen? What am I going to say here? And I remember when day I was 16 years old, and I escaped out of the country, and I saw, afraid to tell anybody I'm leaving, except my grandpa, because I grew up with him. I said, I'm leaving. And instead he said, good luck to anything. He said, remember, freedom is priceless. If you find your way to freedom, you wake up every morning at 5 and go on. And you work an ethic and pay yourself a smile. And every step of my life, when it came to another country, language barriers, school dropout, all kinds of problems. I dropped out about 3 times to finish my college. But every time I'm thinking about going back, I think about my grandfathers. This freedom is priceless. And I work up every day. I'm working so hard. I'm here, really honored to accept the award. And first off, for foremost, I want to thank my wife. She's with me every minute of my life. And I got too many hobbies. I'm starting from medical ultrasound to ITs and farming, and she still sit next to me in a tractor every night to spray. So I would really appreciate her. And also, thank you, my 4 children. They love me, call me every week, make sure I'm okay. And my son flew back and forth Australia every couple of months to make sure mom and dad doing fine, because he's afraid I'm running to another venture. I would like to thank the Ethical Award Foundation. Our team working so hard for this program. Mr. Joseph's it's a great program. I think this is a really good program for the migrants and entrepreneurs. Today I was really honored to have it. I also thank you for Prime Minister, everyone attending today, and the sponsor. The special, without a sponsor, I'm not going to be here tonight, right? So thank you, Arab Banks and Athens and all the sponsors. I greatly appreciate it. And all have a good night.
Thank you so much, Wayne, for that sharing those beautiful words with us. It's been such an honour to hear your stories. Congratulations on your continued business success. I noticed that you mentioned that your Your kids often call, check in that you're all right. I'm pretty sure they're going to call again once they know Dad's just won $10,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that'll be a little incentive to give him a buzz. Well, now it's time for this evening's final award, and that is the Medium to Large Business Award. And this celebrates the success of companies with an average turnover in excess of $5 million per annum. This year, the award has been named in honour of a truly amazing man. In our celebrations, we've met many wonderful individuals, and none of them more inspiring and engaging than the great Henry Kai Shing Ngai, OAM. Henry used his incredible business acumen to become a philanthropist of global proportions, channeling millions of dollars into self-generated charitable initiatives right across the globe. Winner of the 2004 Ethnic Business Award for Medium to Large Business, Henry himself was awarded the prestigious Champion of Champions Ethnic Business Award in 2013. Tonight, we celebrate the renaming of the Medium to Large Ethnic Business Award to honour the contributions that Henry Ngai made not only to the ethnic business community, but to the wider Australian business community and the world as well. Let's now take a few moments to remember the late, very sadly missed and fondly remembered Henry Kai Shing Ngai.
I am Henry Ngai. My company name ABC Tissue Product Pty Limited. My business is tissue paper. We're using the best fiber to make the best tissue. You cannot trick your customer. You have to provide the best quality. First 2 years lost money. And then from the third year, start to break even. In the supermarket, we have over 50% of market share. And last year, we record more than 400 million already. Very much you have to working very hard in the beginning. But that's every my great people do it. I do the charity work. For example, in Australia, when they have fire, flooding, strong wind, we all donate money, 100,000 at the time, or 50,000 minimum. And then I help the Catholic people free of charge to do the operation. Up to now, in Cambodia, I help more than 30,000. In China, I help about 8,000 to 9,000. I already commit to donate 260,000 pieces of hearing aid. I am bringing my children to go to do the volunteer work together with me. I teach them must look after the people need. We must help them. That's my father teach me also when I was young. Well, my company is a family business. Myself, my wife, my children, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, they all working very hard. We're working Saturday, Sunday even. If we have to, we're working Sunday. No extra charge.
What a charming and inspiring man, and cheeky as well. Everyone here speaks with great affection of Henry, and Henry's family hopes that the Henry Ngai Medium to Large Business Award will serve as inspiration for those who have found success here in Australia and to give back to the community which has supported them. And that's something that we've seen that Henry has done so well. What a legacy to leave. Tonight we have Henry's son here, Sonny Ngai. Sonny, we'd really be grateful if you could join us. Thank you for joining us on stage to congratulate our next winner. And on that point, I'd like to welcome the Honourable David Coleman, Minister for Immigration and Citizenship. Sorry, there you are behind me. Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. Would you like to share a few words with us?
Well, thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's fantastic to be here again this year. Can I acknowledge the PM and Jenny, Andrew Giles, who's here representing the Leader of the Opposition, and all of the very, very many dignitaries who are here tonight, reflecting the incredible significance of the event. And can I say, what an incredible night and an incredible event this is. This event embodies everything that is fantastic about Australia. The PM mentioned in his remarks it's a very optimistic event, and we've seen that so much tonight in the incredible stories of triumph and of people who have committed so deeply to this nation, to working to create more opportunities for the next generation of Australians, and in the process have created hundreds and hundreds, and in some cases thousands of Australian jobs. And the stories we acknowledge tonight are the extremely exceptional ones, and of course there are so many more, because all around Australia in so many small businesses, 1 in 3 small businesses of course in Australia today is run by a migrant, by someone who immigrated to our nation. And our migrant success stories are so much broader than business. In every sporting club, in every P&C, in every religious institution in this nation, migrants are at the forefront of making those institutions so strong. And we as a nation should celebrate that, we should be proud of that, and we should talk about it, and we should acknowledge and celebrate the fact that, as the Prime Minister says, we are the greatest migrant nation in the world. And it's a really special thing. And it is so great to be here tonight to acknowledge the remarkable success stories that we have in the larger business category. And it's a great privilege to be here tonight to present the award. The winner of the 2019 Ethnic Business Awards Henry Nye Medium to Large Business category is Holdmark, Sarkis Nassif.
Good evening. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet tonight, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and the traditional custodians. Pay my respect to the elders past, present and emerging. I acknowledge the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Scott Morrison and Mrs Morrison, Governor of New South Wales, Ministers, Bishop Tarabay, Mr. and Mrs Nassif, other distinguished guests, ambassadors, judges, sponsors, members, ladies and gentlemen, along with my family. Firstly, I would like to congratulate all the finalists. Everyone is a winner tonight, and you are all to be congratulated on your achievements. I am greatly humbled to be receiving this award. I want to sincerely thank the Ethnic Business Award for affording me this honour. The recognition is not for me alone. Many people have supported me along the way. Upon reflection of my migrant journey to Australia, I certainly had highs and lows. However, I cannot emphasize enough how incredibly grateful I am to call myself as a citizen of Australia. I can only imagine that life wouldn't be the same if I had chosen elsewhere. Australia has provided me with the perfect environment of opportunity and freedom. It has and always will be my goal to give back to Australia and to be able to provide opportunity not only for migrants but for every Australian. To the people who took a chance on me, this award is for you. You are important to me because of your support and your unwavering devotion for those who have worked with me and who continue to work alongside me to build the future of Hallmark. Thank you. To the people that you know me, you know that I take great pride in farming. The land is vital to the survival of our nation. It is for this reason that I would like to further support the Prime Minister's and Government's initiative to build resilience against the drought by supporting businesses, families, and communities in the rural area. I would especially like to acknowledge General Michael Jeffrey, great work to improve our soil and secure our food supply. Our farmers need support. I want them to know they are not alone. We will face the hardship together, and I would like to contribute $1 million to assist in this support. Thank you very much. Let me finish by saying it is an honor and a blessing to be provided the opportunity to give back to the country gave my family and I so much. Thank you for this award and for your support. God bless our nation, Australia. Thank you all.
How good was that? So congratulations to Sarkis Nassif. Let's give him another round of applause. An incredible journey, and what an incredibly generous donation to our struggling farmers, $1 million. Does anyone want to match Sarkis? Anyone willing to shoot up their hands and match?
Thank you for the $10,000, and I would like to donate it to Westmead Children's Hospital.
So there you go, an Ethnic Business Awards winner, and also I think we can crown him the most generous man in the room tonight, Sarkis Nassif. That was just so wonderful. A huge congratulations to Sarkis, and in fact, congratulations to all of the nominees across all of our categories for developing relationships, creating processes, building bridges along the way, giving generously to our farmers as well. Some of you, your stories are all incredibly inspiring, and you all lead by example. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for joining us here tonight. A big hello to everyone watching live on Facebook as well, and for our broadcast on SBS. The Ethnic Business Awards is such a special event, and these stories, don't they? They bring us all together and they make us incredibly proud to live in a country where every year people can come together and celebrate their success in diversity. Proud that we can share these experiences with such a terrific audience as well. Of course, none of us would be celebrating tonight if it wasn't for the vision of one amazing man, a man who came to this country wearing someone else's shoes and carrying a suitcase full of dreams. Dreams that have grown, networked and brought people together for 31 years. Incredibly generous sponsors, nominees, alumni, people who have become friends in a country full of promise and opportunity. Please join me in thanking the founder the host of the Ethnic Business Awards, the chairman of the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation, and a man really who we all know has dedicated his life to celebrating diversity and the power of business to build bridges and to overcome adversity. Mr. Joseph Nassif. Well done, and thanks again, Joseph, for your generosity in supporting the many diverse business sectors and people from all over the world that are joining us here today. Thank you so much. A round of applause too for Australia, our great nation, and all the opportunities that Australia has visited upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thanks also to our sponsors, Joseph Nassif and his team at the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation, the Ethan Group, ABC Tissue Products, Arab Bank Australia, the Australian Government Department of Home Affairs, Living Gems Lifestyle Resorts, Construction Consultants, Dell Technologies, Divest Healthcare, International Livestock Exports, Deema Stone, Bruce Clay, Multi Connections, and Nexia Australia. A huge shout out too to our media partners, SBS, and also the National Indigenous Television Network. Thanks for your support. Thank you too to the Aurora Community Channel, Chu Dong, the Sunrise Daily Newspaper, El Telegraph, 1688 Chinese Media Group, Neos Cosmos, Top Media Group, and Media Today. A huge thank you. And again, a huge thank you to everyone watching from right here inside the Four Seasons Hotel in Sydney, the 31st Ethnic Business Awards. A huge thank you once again from Joseph Nassif and his team at the Ethnic Business Awards Foundation. They have worked very hard and they thank you all for your support. I'm Janice Peterson. Make sure you tune in to SBS World News. It's been my absolute pleasure to be your host tonight. Have a great evening.
Thanks for watching the Ethnic Business Awards. Please join us again next year.